Talk. Today we're discussing Control by Lydia Kang. Control is actually the first novel in a new dystopian series, and I was very pleasantly surprised about how much fun I had reading this book. I think 150 pages in, I started really enjoying myself, and I flew through the rest of the book. It was hard to put it down after that. If you don't know what it's about, it follows this girl, Zelia. They live in the future. The technology they have is so cool. They have these things called hollows. It's like an earring type of thing. You put it in your ear, but it projects a screen in front of you, and it's just like your personal computer, and you can just turn it on whenever you want, and you call people from it, and it's always like a video call, and you just do all your research like hollow search, and it's super cool. I don't know, I think I'd miss Abed. I'd miss having my like actual I can hold you computer, but hollow sounds pretty freaking awesome. And people don't have cars. There's these things called magpods. They drive themselves, and you can call them at any corner outside. Pretty cool. I'd miss driving though. You can manually override the magpods, but they usually drive themselves. Anyway, this is irrelevant to the story. It follows this girl, Zelia. She's 17 years old, and her younger sister, Dilia, who's 13 years old, and their dad. And little does Zelia know, but they live in a world where there are genetically mutated humans, and that's due to experiments and such that scientists have done over the years without people knowing, illegal experiments, and the babies come out mutated. And these babies, when they're found by the government, they're illegal and they're eliminated because their powers can be dangerous to society overall. These people exist, but they have to live in hiding because they don't want to be killed. So there are safe houses throughout the country. So Zelia and Dilia, their dad is a genetic doctor. They move like every 10 months. So Zelia is used to moving all the time. The book starts off with them moving again. They get in a magpod, head to where they're going, and this rogue magpod is driving itself like crazy, and it rams into there. So they get in this car crash. Their dad dies, and then the two girls are on their own. They get stuck with this company that finds foster families for children. And while they're at this place trying to work out a foster family, these strange genetically mutated people come in and kidnap Zelia's younger sister. Obviously, Zelia's freaking panicked. The only person she has left in the world was just kidnapped by these freaky people. She doesn't know what to do. She's running around the foster company trying to get help when this woman comes to her and tells her that she's her new foster mom and she's here to take her to a new foster family. And Zelia's like, WTF, what is going on? I need to find my sister! So she brings her to her new home, and it turns out this new home is a safe house for these mutated people, and there's these 5 mutated teenagers there. They have all these weird mutations, and I was expecting it kind of be a superpowers ordeal, but it wasn't. It's like there's a kid with 2 heads, and there's a kid with 4 arms, and it was just really different and refreshing and interesting to read about. She gets to know these people, and she's trying to find her sister. It just turned into this super fun ride. It's nonstop crazy crap going on after page 150. There's a whole mystery aspect going on, and it all unfolds as the story goes on. I believe a sequel is coming out maybe in September or October. On Goodreads, I'm gonna rate Control 4 out of 5 stars. On a percentage scale, I'd give it an 85% because it took me a little bit to get into it, but then I really enjoyed it. If you have not read Control now, I'm gonna ask you to leave. I'm gonna discuss it more in depth, and you will be spoiled if you stay, so I don't recommend that. So bye non-spoiler people. Bye. Bye. Okay! So, Control. I was not expecting this to go the way it went, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm currently actually reading The Fault in Our Stars, and Hazel's breathing machine kept reminding me of Zelia's breathing necklace that kind of forces the breath from her, and the way that Hazel would describe the BiPAP machine. The breathing issue kept freaking me out when I was reading Control. I recently read Ignite Me, where she just forgets to breathe because she's stunned and stuff, and she's just saying, I forgot how to breathe, but you didn't. When she says she forgets how to breathe, she actually forgets to breathe. She just like doesn't think it's a necessary thing in life. Where this really started picking up for me is when they all decided to go out for that club scene. We started to really get to know the characters better, because at first, Sai comes off as a total jerkwad. I guess it's because he's just like really emo and overwhelmed with his guilt about Anna. At first I was like, how is he tattooing all these cool designs on himself? Is he like an artist? And then it finally clicked at the end when Zelia was using his tattoo machine that it must automatically tattoo you. Like, you just tell it what you want it to do, and then it draws it on you. I was so confused. I was like, what? Like, Zelia is an artist now too? She could just magically tattoo herself? I don't really understand why he was so abrasive about her looks. Like, why was he trying to put her down confidence-wise? Who would want you? I don't know. He grew on me because he completely changed as the book went on. When a boy throws sand at your face, it really means he likes you. It was one of those things, I guess. He pushes away people that he likes. I really ended up liking Vera. I didn't understand her ability at first. So she's green, so she's kind of like plant girl. I didn't really understand it until Zelia had her ability at the end. Zelia at the end of this book, wow, so resourceful. I was not expecting her to get so far because the whole time I'm like, this is so stupid, Zelia. You cannot go by yourself. If you're gonna go, if you have to go, why don't you make everyone come with you? It was just so insurgent-like. Like when Triss was like, oh, 4, I'm not gonna go. But then the whole time she's planning to go and we know it's a horrible, stupid idea, but she goes anyway and then she gets trapped and stuff. So I was assuming that was gonna happen here and I really, really didn't want it to. When she was knocking them out with the sedatives, I was freaking out. I was like, Zelia, this is the stupidest idea. Sai is gonna be so mad at you. I thought Sai was gonna heal super quickly and the sedative was gonna leave his body in like 5 minutes, so he'd be able to stop her or go with her or follow her. But I guess that didn't happen because he did come eventually. So maybe he healed faster than everyone else, but not fast enough. I felt so bad for them. It was so cruel. It was so evil. And Marka, I wanted Marka at least to go with her. But then of course you'd get her with the milk. That was, But she took all those injections with her. And she's really smart. They really ended up working out in her favor. She had those green patches on her body, which breathed for her automatically. She should really just permanently scar herself with Vera's ability because that's very helpful for her issues. Automatic skin breathers. And I really love that conversation she had with Vera about being there for her and how Marka cares about her. I thought that was really nice. The char situation. What is this called again? Someone throws out car, but then someone's like, no, it's char. I love the references to our technology. And I love when Zelia is riding the car and she's like, oh, I really love the feeling of it on the ground and how I feel like I'm in control and such. Because I love it too. And they go to the club. The club is called Argent. And I'm like, oh, Argent means silver. I know this because of Teen Wolf. I love how they get in by trading silver items. I thought this whole club scene was so fascinating. She goes to the bar and this creeper with black teeth comes up to her. She's like, I can't go dance with you because like I have to drink this first. And he goes, okay, but I'm coming for you later. All my life, I haven't garnered attention from guys, and now I'm attracting ogres. Awesome. I had to put down the book and laugh. There's so many times when that thought has arose in my mind in life. And she goes downstairs and there's all these drug rooms. This was really cool to visualize and really creepy at the same time because people would just go into these rooms and the drugs are just in the air and stuff, especially toward the end. The end room with the gold dust coming out that you could barely avoid was really creepy. In this first club scene, she went into one of the rooms and there was kind of bubbles and you could suck the bubble drug and then people would just be like flopping around on the floor. The ogre comes to hit on her again and then Sai comes in and then all of a sudden they're making out and then they get out of the room and get separated.
I feel like, what just happened? What just happened?
Later on, we learn that Sai has like never left the building before this because he's so afraid of being captured and used because his ability is so desirable. He has the best ability. Sai probably won't grow old either because he's constantly healing. It seems that Zelia maybe is aging super slow, so maybe when she hits adulthood, she won't grow from there. And that makes this a perfect combo to stay together forever. Next book, we gotta get Sai back. I didn't realize Sai was trading himself in. I thought he was trading his laboratory work, but I guess he's their science slave now. That sucks. I hate the numbing girl over there. That is the creepiest ability / trait. I like how everything's called a trait, because they're always called abilities, and ability kind of makes it sound like a superpower, but yeah, trait makes it really sound like it's in your genes and such. And her, like, the blinding and the like making you nauseous being around you, and like why is Wilbur in love with her? That was a twist. I was like, who are they talking about? For a second, I thought maybe it was Sai. Words cannot describe how much I loved that rock climbing scene in this book. When he takes Zelia rock climbing, I just thought it was adorable and so cool. It was such an interesting coupley scene, and I was trying to like picture how she'd be holding herself backwards against the wall with him, And it was super, like, she is really strong. The whole mystery with Anna was creeping me out in the beginning. I thought Anna was going to be like this really unstable, violent type of a ghost. So I was afraid. And at first I thought her ability was that she was invisible, but she was kind of going insane, so she couldn't turn back to visible. But it turns out she kind of just has invisible hands and stuff. She can project herself outside her body, it seems. Did we all suspect from the beginning that Zelia was going to have some sort of a mutation? I definitely did. I didn't know what it was going to be, though. I thought that Delia was going to have some sort of beautifying ability. There was so much emphasis on how pretty Dill was in the beginning. I thought she was gonna have some sort of like siren-y sort of thing going on where she attracts all the men. But she turned out that she had no ability. And now she's preggers with that creep Micah's baby. That was super creepy. How they're like harvesting the eggs of girls so they could create more mutated people. And then we learned that her dad was actually the person who started the experiments by changing out the birth control pills. I don't know why you would ever do that to your own child, not knowing what the mutation would be. I could see if it was an experiment and you knew what you were doing when you gave her the pills and you're like, okay, I want my child to be immortal. Let's give her immortal traits. He didn't even know his child could come out with like 5 heads. Scary thought that a father would do that. I really hope that we don't really completely understand that yet, that we're gonna kind of get another point of view about it. This whole time when Zelia was on Wilbur's elixir was frustrating, obviously, because we're all thinking, like, we don't want you going over there and getting your eggs harvested. There's this really funny section where she's, like, dreaming while she's awake. The visits from Del kept occurring, interspersed with ones from Dad and Sai, of course. Sai and I have a pretty healthy sex life in my dream world, and the mind porn during work is really disruptive. I felt so bad for Wilbur's pig, that he's, like, literally a guinea pig, and then she tests this elixir on him, like on the pet pig. Like, couldn't you just, like, a rat? Can we just test it on a random rat? Did Wilbur even care about his pet pig? I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I think we're definitely gonna get Sai back in the next book. We have to. And hopefully we'll get him back in the beginning of the book and then go on more adventures. And I don't know where we're going with this. It sounds like we're gonna try to change the laws in the States to accept the genetically mutated? I don't know. That's gonna be tough. What did you think of the book? / what's your favorite part? I keep going back to that climbing scene. It was a nice little, like, let's forget about everything else that's going on and just have our coupley bonding moment. And climb a rock wall. I love rock walls too. It was just like the coolest. I want a rock wall simulation machine. And when they were making it on the ground and it was kind of like you could just, it looks like you're floating in the air. You know you're on the ground and it's just, oh my god, that sounds so cool. Their technology is so freaking cool. Share your thoughts. I'm Christine. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!